How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We just had a drop in crypto, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do now. Now, of course, everything is going to be a little bit different depending on your situation, but I need you to do one specific thing, and I think it will make everything more clear for you over time. I also want to go through why the market fell down, maybe something that you didn't see that caused the market to probably even fall down a little bit more. Look at what institutional investors have done over the last couple of weeks because we just got a new report, some bullish news, and I'm going to tell you literally what I just did in the market, whether I bought, sold, or hodled. And I'll tell you this, I didn't hold. I either bought or sell, and I'll explain that here, and I'll tell you what I bought or sold. Now, this is going to be kind of jam-packed. If you guys like this kind of stuff, please hit the like and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so you know right when I post a video, because some of this is really time relevant. Earlier, I think, one of the first crypto channels to talk about what's happening in the market, and it seemed like a lot of people like that. So definitely pay attention if you guys want more information like that. There's also a link down there to BlockFi, so you can get an interest rate on your cryptocurrency with the link underneath the video to BlockFi. They pay up to $250 too right when you deposit money on the platform. Overall, we know, if you've been watching the markets, why the market's falling down, right? We had the Fed talk earlier, or they gave their minutes earlier today from their meeting in December, and they said that they were going to stop the bond purchasing. They were going to taper that faster than people expected. They were also going to raise interest rates pretty soon, and right after they started raising interest rates, they probably will start shrinking their $9 trillion portfolio of bonds and other assets. So we kind of expected the first two things, but we weren't really expecting them to start shrinking and sucking up liquidity out of the market by shrinking down their portfolio. We didn't really expect that to happen that quickly. And we saw drops in the market, and we know that there's a lot of leverage in the market right now, but we had about $315 million of perpetual futures open interest wiped out in 30 minutes. So we know that a lot of people are also getting liquidated, and I personally was thinking we might see a faster downwick, but I think there's a lot of people purchasing because we did actually see Bitcoin bounce off 42.5, and we had seen some support there before. We hit it and then bounced right back up. Now, one thing to pay attention to is obviously that 42.5 level. If we fall below that, we don't really have support again until about $40,000. So we will have to watch that, but as you can see, it held support there. Now, one other thing that kind of is probably making some people fearful is Kazakhstan. So the government resigned, shut down internet amid protests, causing Bitcoin network hash rate to tumble 13%. So this is a big flashy headline, could scare some people. I actually just started my mining business, and this is really good for me personally, but this is got to remind you, right, that even if Bitcoin falls 4 or 5% or something like that, like today, there are people that have it worse, right? There are people that have governments that are being overthrown. I'm sure that there's a lot more turmoil there than we have here. And the reason that this is kind of important for Bitcoin, if you don't know what this is it is right next to China, right? A lot of the Chinese miners went to Kazakhstan, and that's why, hey, 13% of the hash rate is right there. Now, moving from that to what institutions are doing, we finally got the investor report from CoinShares giving a breakdown for really 2021, but they also have what happened over the last couple of weeks. So we saw outflows the last couple of weeks, a little bit less aggressive outflows than we had seen the week before, towards the middle of December, but still a lot of people are taking money out of Ethereum specifically. Now, why is it Ethereum? Well, they didn't really break it down why so many people were selling Ethereum, but in my mind, there was a lot of money that was flowing into Ethereum earlier in the year because really some of these smaller assets, they've been putting money in, but there's just not much in there. And Ethereum had a 6x last year. So you have to remember, if it's 6x, there were going to be a lot of institutions that want to take profit on that. So we had about 61 million come out of Ethereum. We had some still going into Bitcoin, some coming out of multi-asset, and then we had a large amount going into Binance, which is interesting. I'm not sure who's buying $20 million worth of Binance, but someone did. So overall, you can see kind of what they're buying. I think that it was kind of the last weird week where we had people taking profits. So starting probably next week and the week after, we'll start to get a better picture for what they're allocating for the new year. Now, moving on to some bullish news, and then again, we'll hit on what I did specifically and what you need to do. A top 5 US bank is planning payment rails on the Bitcoin Lightning Network, according to Insider. Now, I tried to find what the link was because I tried to look this up and I could not find it. I could not find it on Insider. I could not find it on anything else. But if we look at some of the top 5 banks, if one really truly adopts it, because we know that they were really against Bitcoin and crypto, and then they kind of they're for it now. They're trying to give it to their clients. They're trying to implement it in what they do. We know that some of the massive banks have a lot of pull, and some of them are bullish on Bitcoin. US Bank Corp has said that before. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they've come out pretty bullish. JP Morgan is kind of hands off with it, but they also do have some exposure to some of these cryptocurrencies. So we know Morgan Stanley has taken positions in GBTC. Overall, this will be great if this comes out because these are really trusted banks from the US. And a lot of people, like I said, just trust their bank. They don't necessarily trust some of these online companies, and some of them want to go to their bank to be able to use this kind of thing. One other company that is really trying to get in on crypto is MoneyGram. So they announced a minority investment in CoinMe, the largest licensed cryptocurrency cash exchange in the US. And this is a very fast growing company. I hadn't really looked at it before, but they did win the Deloitte Technology Fast 500 and named the 78th fastest growing company, tech company here in America, North America. So this is really them trying to get in on this, and it makes sense because they're a dying business. They were looking at different buyouts. They have a ton of debt. They have a market value of 700 million and 800 million in debt, and they've just been dying, right? They have lower operating income year after year. They need to lean on crypto, and that's something that we've seen with remittance services in general, that these companies are going to be really hurt by cryptocurrency because they take a large cut of what people are trying to send across the world. So what did I do specifically, and what do you need to do right now? Because obviously not the best day in crypto. If you're heavily invested, it hurts to see this. But in my mind, right, the thing you have to know is you're either a trader or a speculator, or you're someone buying this for long term, right? If you're buying it at all. So for me, I am not someone that's looking at selling right now by any means, because I see the fundamentals getting stronger and stronger. In my head, I'm always like, okay, should I buy more or should I hold? It's not really a question of should I sell now with this bad news? And maybe we do get more bad news in the future, and maybe we keep on falling. But overall, I am a net buyer of some of these top cryptocurrencies. Some of the smaller ones, more speculative cryptos, I approach it more from we're going into a bull run, or I like the technology, but I don't really need to hold some of the riskier assets that I've invested in. But some of these top ones, I really want to hold for the long term. So it's usually a question of, do I want to buy more or hold? And that's where I think you have to get straight in your head. Okay, are you a trader? Are you just trying to make some money? Are you a long-term buyer, right? Because if you look at this from a long-term view, this is the best price that we've gotten in months, right? Since September. So you should be happy to buy. There's been a lot of stuff happening in the background, a lot of fundamentals that have gotten stronger. So personally, I did buy today. I saw that it bounced off 42.5. I didn't see right when it hit 42.5, but I saw it bounce off 42.5, and then we held that for about an hour. So I ended up buying Bitcoin, equal amounts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Solana, because I want a larger position in Solana. Even with some of the issues that happen with Solana, I still think it is one of the best products out there for what they do, one of the best layer ones for what they do, even if it is a little bit more centralized. And then I also bought half of that amount. So what I put into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, I put half that amount into Matic, seeing it down around 220. I'm very bullish on Matic for a layer 2 solution to Ethereum. And then I also bought one that's not even in the top 100. I know that I was talking about speculation a little bit, but I did buy VGX. So I think that's right outside the top 100 possibly. But I bought some more VGX. And the reason I did that is because they have a loyalty program with VGX, and they came out with some really good news. They had some really high user growth, and this came out just today. And it pushed up the stock for a little bit, but it really should push up the crypto too, because it shows that there are a lot more users on the platform that will eventually want VGX, and there's just not enough to go around for everyone to get in on it, or even to get the base layer of their loyalty program. So I did buy some more VGX, not a ton, but I already have a decent amount. So I did buy some more just because I think it really will do well over long term, especially when we turn back into a bullish market. Now, I want to hear your thoughts underneath the video. What did you buy? Are you not buying? Are you holding? Are you worried? Let me know down below. We are close to that 2 trillion mark, so be curious, or I'll be interested to see if we pass that. But we could always see more red. But if that's the case, then hey, I have money still sitting on the sidelines. I never put all my money in. I have some sitting there to buy further dips. Let me know down in the comment section what you're doing, and I will see you in the next video. Check out the link down below to BlockFi. Thanks.